Vous me faites signe quand je parle?
Enlève ton masque. Hein. Enlève le masque.
Hi, welcome to the first international live event of CLOS CENTEILLES. So we are here together, my mother, Patricia, that you,
Hi.
for some of you, know for 30 years, and then me, Cécile, the second generation of the CLOS CENTEILLES. So we decided to make something in, how to say, a brand new way to reach you in the 2011th century. So we decided to get to you because we cannot anymore take the plane or leave and have some travels in your place. We decided to move to you and then to bring to you all the story of CLOS CENTEILLES. So this is going to be a live event of about half an hour. We will present to you all the history that is around CLOS CENTEILLES, all the soul that my mother just brought behind, and all its future. So we are located in south of France, Languedoc. What to say? We are living in the greatest place of the world. The story, my mother started it 30 years ago, in 1990. How does it feel?
Fine. Young.
30 years youngest.
Yes.
30-year youngest. So my parents, they found this little piece of heaven, this little piece of paradise in the middle of nowhere in Languedoc. So we are close to no city, but far from known neither. We are 1.5 hours northern than Spain. And so my parents, when they arrived here in Languedoc, they really wanted to show that we had one of the greatest terroirs of the world. But this was a long, long, long way to do, because at this time, the Languedoc wine was just sold by truck, big volumes, bad quality, the wine that really you didn't want to drink. And my mother, she has her origins from south of France, actually, and she always wanted to go back there, and she wanted to prove all the potential that we had in this really, really great terroir. So, well, this came by many ways. She first wanted to show how great were the grapes that people never really forgot. And then she also wanted to bring back, with the help of my father, that used to be a librarian, so really, really, really in love with old books full of dust. They both wanted to bring back all the lost grapes that used to be one day Queens of Languedoc 300 years ago. So what about the vineyard? We are living on a real clos. So a clos is really like a block of 20 hectares. We have the house right in the middle where we live, both of us. Not together, we are not roommates, too old for that. But my mother is living on the main house, and then I have the first, actually the first place that she renovated with my father. So I have a tiny apartment, which is like the beginning of everything with my mother, and that is also the beginning with the story of CENTEILLES for me too. So we have a real clos, so that means that we have all the vines that are closed by stone walls. Inside of this clos, we have 12 hectares of vines and 8 hectares of nature. So if I do the translation into acres, which is maybe the unit you know, we have 50 acres of clos, 20 acres of nature, and 30 acres of vines. So this is really talking about the way my mother wanted to create the story of Centeilles and the soul of Centeilles. Having vines, but also grapes, was really the way to raise the grapes as she raised her girls. So in biodiversity and balance. So she really wanted to have vines, but also nature, to really have a balance in the world, to have the biodiversity there, and to have the best chance to be able to get like an atmosphere that is living by itself. So I don't know if you know a fun fact, but in CLOS CENTEILLES we have 23 different grape varieties. In the entire world, Pierre Gallet, that is an ampelographe, he found 9,000 different grapes on the world. On those 9,000 grapes, we know that 6,000 grapes are great, so the 2/3 are great to make wine. We only use 30 different grapes to produce 70% of the wine in the world. So in CLOS CENTEILLES, my mother, she brought so many grapes, so really we can find and bring back all the biodiversity, the vinodiversity, and so work with a nature that has different species, different families, a population that is really working together. There is no clones. We don't have vines that are all the same. It's really all a story. Like in a family, you have some that are stronger, you have some that are not, you have some that are easy to conduct, you have some that will need your attention all the time, like children. So, yeah, that's about the story of CLOS CENTEILLES, bringing back the lost grapes, because when she wanted to really show how huge was our terroir, she really wanted to go through the history of the Languedoc, to the history of France, to really use what we knew was the great version of Languedoc one day. So 7 grapes variety that are common, and then the 16 others are really rare. So if you want to hear some names, you have the Ribeirenc. We have the 4 colors of the Ribeirenc, the Œillade, the Morastel. You have some maybe grapes you know, but on colors that you've never heard about, like the Picpoul Gris. Well, so the CLOS CENTEILLES is like a conservatory. I talk a lot because my mother, she says she doesn't speak English. In fact, she does. And you should come to the winery so you can talk in English with her. But she says she doesn't talk, but she does. You just have to ask nicely. Well, we talked about the vineyard. Actually, I didn't finish. We have a way to work here. My mother really wanted to work in an artisanal way. Since I arrived in the winery, so the second generation, I joined my mother in September 2016, so now it's starting to make a while. So since I arrived here, I've been there in the vineyard to support her, so we have been able to work more and more by hand, like doing the first treatments by hand. So now we are at the end of March. We have the vine that is just starting to wake up from winter. She's just starting to grow. And we are, for example, applying by hand some sulfur that is combined with hydroalcoholic plant extract. So this is what my mother wanted to bring to really help the vines to fight against fungus, but also to help her to develop her own defenses. So since I arrived here, we've been really more we had really more precision on the work in the vineyard, on the work by hand. We can really join and guide the vine all the day. We also changed something those last years. We did some courses together. It wasn't hard work. We did what we call the taille douce. So it's the soft pruning. So this is a pruning that is following the technical word in English, following the veins.
Sève.
The sève, Franglish, a little bit of Franglish. Following the sève of the vines. So yeah, we really work more and more since I am here because I have the hand and the energy to go to do it. We really work more and more in an artisanal way in the vineyard to bring the vines to the most natural way, to be there just to guide but never to control. This is really maybe the only rules that exist in Centeilles, to guide but never to control. Like used to say my mother, this is the exactly same way that she raised her girls, because when she tried to tell us, go there, this was not working. More like, you should go this way. This was really more efficient. Well, so in the cellar,
Pas parler de l'âge des vignes.
yeah, I didn't talk about the age. No, I didn't.
Non,
But you can.
Non, non, non.
Please.
Non, 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 non.
So I will talk again. Well, we have a lot of old vines. When my mother arrived in Centeilles 30 years ago, she found some vines that were at this time 80 years old. And the previous owner said to my mother, oh no, those vines, they are dead. They are not producing anymore. They are not good to keep. They are Carignan, which was a grape that was really the black beast of the Minervois. And my mother, she wasn't able, just by feeling, just inside, she was not able to take out vines that were perfectly producing, perfectly healthy, just because she didn't like the grape. So today, those very, very old vines are more than 110 years old. And we have more like 50% of the vineyard that is more than 60 years old. We have 5 hectares of young vines. So what we call young vines is vine from 20 to 30 years old. They are the lost grapes that my mother brought back to Centeilles. So very, very old vines. Maybe you saw a picture passing behind at a moment. Well, about the cellar, about the vines, the CLOS CENTEILLES, it's a range of 11 wines produced every year. I precise produced every year because since a short time, since I arrived, we created also a kind of ephemeral range that you can also call the range of the easy wine of CLOS CENTEILLES. In French, we call it glou-glou wine. So, a glou-glou. And so 11 wines that we produce every year. We work in the cellar in the same philosophy, in the same way than in the vine. We really want to join, to guide the wines, to be there just to bring it to the point that it can reveal it best. All the fermentation are made with indigenous yeast since the beginning, but also always, like in the vine, with precision. Patricia, my mother, always did what we call a pied de cuve. So you do your own selection of your indigenous yeast. So this is the way we work, and after, to express the best of our grapes in the tank, we decided to make very, very long infusion. The very good aspect of being in Languedoc, land of the sun, is that our terrace with south exposition, where our vines are really full of sun, and this is allowing the grapes to have really, really ripe tannins. So this is allowing my mother to make long, long infusions so that you can really extract very softly of all the potential and all the deepness that you have in this terroir, in those grapes. So when I say long infusion, it's a minimum of 4 weeks, and we can go until 8 weeks of maceration, which is really long. And about the extraction, it's also really soft. We do some punching down, but ancient, artisanal punching down. We wear bent boots, like the fishermen, and we go in the tank, and with the legs, we do some punching down, so we can really have the contact with the skin, have the contact with the substances that is in the tank, really feel it. And so we can do very softly all the extraction of the potential of those grapes. Then the punching down is also allowing to really extract all the tannins very softly, and this is allowing us to produce wines that can age so long. When my mother arrived in Centeilles, she wanted to prove that the Languedoc was one of the greatest terroirs of the world. But for her, having a great terroir means for sure to be able to produce wine that can age. So because she never stopped with just an idea, she decided to make all the vinification in a way that the wine can really age. And she tried. I mean, she kept always between 500 to 1,000 bottles of each wine on each vintage. So today, I have a treasure in my hands. We have a treasure in Centeilles. We can show you what is the Languedoc and what has been Languedoc those last 30 years. And yeah, this was really thanks to the long infusion, very, very soft extraction, followed after by 2 years of aging, but in tank. Aging doesn't mean only by barrels. We age in Centeilles the wines in tank because she really wanted to express in a pure way what was truly the potential of the place. So she always wanted to use natural container so then you can really feel what the Languedoc has to express, what the Cru La Livinière, the terroir where we are, that is the first appellation of Languedoc that has been classified as a cru in 1999. You can really feel how deep and how far it can bring you if you want to travel through a bottle of us. So, yeah, for my part, and for the part of many, many sommeliers we work with and restaurants, those wines really have the potential to age, and I am feeling so lucky today to be able to bring this to you, well, when I am allowed to travel. But until that, if you are on your side of the ocean or on your piece of world able to travel, we are waiting for you home. Well, so this was about the way we make wine. No, I didn't talk about the harvest.
Je comprends l'anglais, tu as vu, hein?
She's following. I cannot be without you. I need you to remind me, and you see, she doesn't want to talk, but well, I try to talk the best, the way she would like to tell you things. Yes, so about harvest, sure, we are harvesting by hand. I think you've guessed, but something very, very important is to say that we are doing the selection of the berries of the grapes in the vine. My mother never wanted to put in the same bucket the grapes or the berries that you want with the berries that you don't want. Many estates are making the selection directly in the cellar. You have like a big table that is moving, and then you have people on the table that is selecting the grapes they want and the things they don't want. We really don't want to do this way in Centeilles, so we have a very small team of harvesters. Very small because they need to know what they do. So they need to be able to select all the berries, and we don't want on the floor any berry that should be in the bucket, and we don't want any berry in the bucket that should be on the floor. So this is again talking about the precision that we are having in Centeilles. And so after the grapes are coming to the cellar, and then starts the work of the artist in the cellar of the soft extraction. We don't keep any stem, if someone is asking. We are destemming all the grapes. So this is really allowing us to get all the tannins, but all the elegant and soft, silky tannins. And now came the time to talk about the wines and the different range. So for those that know us and for those that don't, for those that know us, things are going to change. And for those that still don't know us, I'm going to explain how it's going to work from now. We decided to split the range in two. So like I said a little bit earlier, we created when I arrived an ephemeral range that we called Centeilles. Centeilles, which everybody is calling Centilla because it's finishing with an A at the end. Centeilles is an Occitan term. Occitan is the dialect of south of France that we talk in our place, that the ancients were speaking. And it is meaning shine, because we have a church of the 13th century just in the middle of the Clos. And this church, when the sun is rising or when the sun comes down, you really have the warmest light of the sun that is touching the church and lightening it like from the inside in orange. So this is one of the origin of the term Centeilles, scintille, shine. So the ephemeral range Centilla is going to turn into the range of the easy wine of CLOS CENTEILLES. You will still have an ephemeral cuvée inside, so a wine someday that we will produce because we have so much creativity together. So she always had, I do have two, so together in the same cellar. So we really had to like try to, well, follow a line and try to do not go everywhere all the time, because then after you don't know where you are with our wines. So two range, the range of Centilla, which will be the range of the easy wine, and then the range of CLOS CENTEILLES, which is the range of all time. So this range is composed with wines that are never leaving the cellar, that are not going out from the estate before they turn minimum 3 years old. Because we do 2 years of aging and then we let the wine sleep in the bottle for a minimum of 1 year. So all the wine that you will be able to drink from the range CLOS CENTEILLES will have minimum 3 years. There is a very, very special cuvée that is, for me, the piece of art of the winery, the Capitelle de Centeilles. Here we brought with us a very, very old vintage, 1994. So the Capitelle de Centeilles is a wine. Currently we are selling the vintage 2009. So this is a wine that we really want to keep in bottle for many years before to give it to you. So it can really reveal all the deepness that it has. So many wines, we are making whites, 2 whites that are coming from lost grapes. We are making a claret that is an easy wine, like a light red or a rosé more for winter. We are making 5 or 6 or 7 red, I never know, there is too much. We are making a sparkling wine also with lost grapes from Languedoc, because there is no sparkling wine in Minervois. So we decided together, this is the first craziness that we did together in 2016. We decided to make a bubbling wine because we both love bubbles, and so we wanted to express the old grapes in a sparkling way. And then, yeah, one sweet wine.
Le rosé.
And then there is a rosé of gray grapes. There is so much, I could never stop talking if I talk to you about all. But you can go in our website. We have all the diversity, all the different bottles. We didn't take them all today with us because we have so much, but you can check our website. Everything is on it. And then I would like just to finish, I would like to talk about a last part, which is really the corner that is taking the CLOS CENTEILLES today. The true transmission. We just act in July. We signed for transforming CLOS CENTEILLES into a company, a real company, to be able to transmit it from generations to generations. So the first is to transmit from the first to the second generation. So, well, it's for me, it was really important to come back early on the vineyard because I really, really, really especially enjoy this moment of tandem, we call in French, this duo that we do together, because we are both very different, and I love the way we work together. So, well, I am bringing something new in Centeilles. I am bringing a try to make an insertion to bring us to this new century with the digital world, with all the websites and social network. I'm trying. I'm having a social network of lunatic because sometimes I put pictures every day and sometimes I stop. But, well, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to bring you the CLOS CENTEILLES in the new ways. And this is going to bring also new evolutions. You will see we wanted to work with an agency that is with us, and we really wanted to bring to the, how to say, to the presentation of the CLOS CENTEILLES my touch. So we decided to make an evolution of the labels, for example. So you're all gonna discover now the new packaging that we are going to have. All the range is gonna evolve, and the challenge was really to keep the previous one, to keep all the soul and all the aspect, all we have behind each label, but to bring my touch, because I like when there is air in the things. So I really wanted to keep the labels I grew up with, but to bring a more modern touch. So I let you discover the new labels. And so you are gonna see coming after also some videos. We are gonna do some teasers that you will be able to maybe use, presenting the new wines, our wines, each wine, the Carignanissime, the Campagne, the Clos, the C, they will all be presented, each in its own teaser. So a very, very short video of 10 seconds, so you can really feel the atmosphere that is behind each wine. So, well, maybe some of you also saw that we have an online shop. So this is also making you able to, giving you the possibility to check all the old vintages that we have. Because, for example, for the CLOS CENTEILLES that we have here in Magnum, That is one of the two first cuvées that my mother created 30 years ago. We have all the vintages available from the first one to the one we are selling now. So for the CLO, we are selling the vintage 2015 today. And if you want, you can ask for any vintage you want from 2015 to 1990, 91, 92, 93. We have them all. And this is really thanks to my mother because, well, she has a kind of craziness that is bringing us here today because really when she bought the CLOS CENTEILLES, it was a real ruin. Everything was to make, everything was to rebuild. All the reputation was to make about not only CLOS CENTEILLES but the entire Languedoc. So I'm really, really proud to be the next generation of CLOS CENTEILLES. I hope you enjoyed, and if you need any information, if you're curious, we can organize a Zoom, we can organize a kind of meeting on the internet, we can call the way you prefer. You can contact me by email. All the information are available on the CLOS CENTEILLES, so www.closcenteilles.com. And, well, we all wish you...
ton email?
Hein?
Tu donnes pas ton email?
My email, you can take my email on the website too. You can contact us by the contact page directly on CLOS CENTEILLES if it's easier for you to contact us by the website. And, well, if any time you come by south of France, you should really come to visit because, well, we tried together to bring you the atmosphere and the soul of the CLOS CENTEILLES, but nothing is best than just coming with us, seeing the place, seeing those old vines that you have behind. This is one of our vines that are more than 110 years old. So, yeah, this is really the very best way to discover our world. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for this time. I hope you enjoyed, that it was not too long. It's hard for me to stop talking. So if you have any question, please do not hesitate to send an email or to comment directly on the YouTube video. Thank you.